on Sports Central tonight. Good news! Sri Lanka Rugby has decided to allow the inclusion of one foreign player per team for the upcoming 2025-26 Interclub season, which starts on the 14th of November. What a stunner! Jemima Rodrigues hits a remarkable
To take your hat off to Jemima Rodrigues.
Another milestone. Yannick Sinner advances to the quarterfinals of Paris Masters with the hope of reclaiming his #1 spot in the world, defeating Francisco Cerundolo, reaching the quarterfinals at least once at every other ATP Masters 1000 event. And early expired. The International Olympic Committee and Saudi Arabia have ended their 12-year esports partnership after only a year, parting ways to develop separate projects.
From Studio 24C, this is Sports Central. And now, here's Vinut Varnasurya.
Hello and welcome to Sports Central right here on the other Derana news channel. Well, as always, the final bulletin for this week, we have some updates with a packed rundown. And we start off with some good news coming from Sri Lanka Rugby. Sri Lanka Rugby has decided to allow the inclusion of one foreign player for the upcoming 25-26 season, which starts on the 14th of November. Accordingly, Division A clubs will be able to bring in a foreign player for the league, knockout and sevens tournaments. The Executive Committee of Sri Lanka Rugby had initially approved the inclusion of 2 foreign players per club in line with the practice adopted in previous years and in recognition of the value such players bring to the domestic competition. However, discussion with Division A clubs, many of whom had raised concerns over budget limitations and short preparation time, the SLR Exco has decided to allow only one player to be fielded for this season. In a media communique, Sri Lanka Rugby said that the inclusion of foreign players also aligned with its long-term vision of revitalizing the sport, enhancing local player development and strengthening Sri Lanka's competitiveness at the global stage. Kala Redupa and Methuga Malhiru, who won gold medals at the recently concluded South Asian Senior Athletic Championship, were felicitated yesterday. The All Boys Association of Ananda Shasthala in Kotte organized this felicitation ceremony. The school principal Priyantha Karnaratna, students and the officials of the school All Boys Association joined the ceremony as well. The 2 athletes were given mementos along with the cash support at this event. Melbourne Biscuits A emerged the champions of the 32nd Singer MCA One Day Super Premier League 2025. They defeated Haleys A in the final, played at CCC grounds yesterday.
Haleys A, who won the toss and opted to bat first, totaled a competitive score of 235 runs before being bowled out in the 50th over. Openers Ron Chandragupta and Rishan Madhushankar, who scored 55 and 40 runs respectively, laid a solid foundation for Haleys A. However, the middle order failed to capitalise and they lost wickets at regular intervals. Inuka Karanagoda made 29. For Melbourne, Dushan Hemantha was the pick of the bowlers, capturing 3 wickets for 45 runs, while Dhananjaya Lakshan and Sahan Arachike shared 2 wickets each. In reply, Melbourne Biscuits A reached 239 for 7 in 46.1 overs to win the match by 3 wickets. Skipper Milinda Sirivardhana and Dhananjaya Lakshan scored 41 runs each to propel the run chase. Dushan Vimukti with 37 and Sangeet Kure with 33 runs strengthened the middle order push. Kavishka Anjula was the pick of the Haleys bowlers with 2 for 46. Dushan Hemantha was adjudged the man of the match. 6 teams took part in this year's MCA A Division Limited Overs tournament.
Sri Lanka Cricket has announced a 15-member team to face the Malaysian Under-19 Women's National Team, which is touring Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka Under-19 Women's squad is captained by Manudi Nanayakkara and it includes 4 girls from Devapatiraja College in Radgama. The squad is as follows: Manudi Nanayakkara from Princess of Wales Moratuwa, Sanjana Kavindi from Devapatiraja College Radgama, Vimoksha Balasurya from Sinhala Mahavidyalaya Trincomalee, Hirunis Hansika from Devapatiraja College Radgama, Nethangi Suranjali from Devapatiraja College Radgama, Rashmika Sevwandi from Anura College Matara, Sashini Gimhani from Devapataraja College Radgama, Asini Thalagune from Mahamaya Girls College Kandy, Pramudi Metsara from National College Uhana Ampara, Danodaya Swevani from Anamaduwa Central College Putlam, Shamudi Prabodha from Panjananda College Monoragala, Liman Sathilakaratna, Rashmi Netranjali from Devapataraja College Radgama, Rismi Sanjana from Anura College Matara, and Mithali Ayodhya from Rajala Mahavidyalaya in Kantale. The series will consist of 5 T20 matches scheduled to be played on the 2nd, 3rd, 5th and 7th of November along with a final match on the 10th of November in Colombo. Richmond College defeated Gurukula College Kelaniya in the semi-final of the Under-19 Division 1 Tier A Limited Overs tournament at the Boyagana Army Cricket Ground today. Now they will meet Mahanama College Colombo in the final. With that, let's take a look at the match details. The Under-19 Division 1 Tier A Limited Overs tournament semi-final was played between Richmond College Gaul and Gurukula College Kelaniya at the Boyagana Army Cricket Ground today. Batting first, Gurukula totaled 174 runs before being bowled out in 46 overs. Skipper and Sri Lanka national cap Derana Dimansith top scored with 79 runs which came off 102 balls. He struck 6 fours and a 6. In bowling, Netsara Akash, Hiruka Kalanka and Thenusha Nimsara captured 2 wickets each for Richmond College. In reply, Richmond lost wickets at regular intervals and one stage they were reeling at 5 down for 65 runs. Then the 6-wicket pair between Bevin Jayawardena and Thenusha Nimsara rescued the Richmond innings with a century partnership. Bevin was 57 not out while Thenusha remained 59 not out. They added 110 runs for the 6th wicket and Richmond reached 175 for 5 in 42 overs, thus won the match by 5 wickets to book their place in the final against Mahanama College, Colombo. Meanwhile, Under-19 Division 1 Tier B two-day encounter between West College and St. Joseph Vaz College Vennapur ended in a thrilling draw at Cartoon area. However, the visitors took honours on first innings points. Batting first, Wesley scored 176 runs for their first innings. However, they were bowled out for just 92 runs in their second innings. Himal Rahansa and Damesh Matishan bagged 5 wickets each. Matishan also captured 5 wickets in the first innings. In reply to Wesley's first innings total, St. Joseph's Vaz Vennapur was bowled out for 153 runs. Savio Fernando was the top scorer for Joseph Vaz with an unbeaten 36. In bowling, Matnula Sandeep bagged 5 wickets for Wesley. When the stumps were drawn in the second and final day, Joseph Vaz chasing 116 runs to win were on 110 for the loss of 9 wickets. Damesh Matishan made 55. In bowling, Adyan Sian captured 4 wickets. Well, let's go in for a short commercial break. More sporting action coming right after this. You are watching Sports Central on Ada Derana News Channel. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Central on Ada Derana News Channel. We are moving to one of the final updates coming from the ICC Women's World Cup 2025. Jemima Rodriguez hit a remarkable unbeaten century as India completed a record chase to claim a stunning 5-wicket win over Australia and reach the Women's World Cup final this year. Batting first, Australia had 3 batters to save their innings. Opener Phoebe Litchfield scored a century hitting 119 runs off 93 balls with 17 fours and 3 sixes, giving Australia a fiery start.
Brings up her first 50. Take your hat off to Jemima Rodriguez tonight.
Semi-final number 2, 338. Australia bowled out with 1 delivery remaining and the highest successful run chase.
After guiding India to the final, Jemima Rodriguez said she had struggled with anxiety at the Women's World Cup, but her determination to contribute helped her overcome being dropped earlier in the tournament to score a match-winning century in the semi-final against Australia last night.
Yeah, I'll be very vulnerable here because I know if someone is watching this might be going through the same thing, and that's my whole purpose of saying it, because nobody likes to talk about their weakness. I was going through a lot of anxiety at the starting of the tournament, and it was a lot, before few games also, I used to call my mum and cry the entire time, just let it all out. Because when you're going through anxiety, you just feel numb, you don't know what to do, you're trying to be yourself. Like, I'm so blessed to have friends I can call family, that I didn't have to go through it alone, and it's okay to ask for help. And that's what happened. And my mom also, she's as emotional as I am, but she went through a lot, my family went through a lot, but everyone stood by me and believed in me when I didn't, when I couldn't. And the other thing, then what happened, it started with the anxiety thing. Then I was dropped from the team. That really hit me. And when you're dropped, you have a lot of doubts because I always want to contribute to the team. But that day, I couldn't do much sitting out. And then when you come back in, it's a lot more pressure with everything that was happening in the past month. But sometimes all you need to do is just hang in there and things fall into place. So I think, yeah. So I'm very grateful for the people who believed in me when I couldn't and were there for me and understood me, because I couldn't do this on my own. I have been a part of chases, I think, against Australia, almost 3 chases where we were going well, we got it to run a ball and we lost from there. And I think those moments taught me a lot, and I just wanted to be there to finish it off. Even the previous day we had a group discussion. We were just saying what all we could do better in this World Cup, and all I said was that I want to be there till the end and finish the game. Whether we're batting first, I know if I'm there I can make a partnership and get those 20-30 runs extra because I run well, pick gaps, unusual gaps. And the second thing was, if we're chasing, then I want to make sure I want to take the team through. And this just feels like a dream, actually. It just felt like everything was such a setup, because the last month wasn't the easiest, but it just felt like a setup for this.
Moving to the basketball court now, Victor Wembanyama posted 27 points, 18 rebounds and 6 assists along with 5 blocks while leading the host San Antonio Spurs to a 107-101 victory over the Miami Heat last night.
Aaron Wembanyama to jump it up. The Spurs with the tip. It's presented by Pizza Hut, and we are underway. Another Frost Bank Center.
The Spurs, who have won 5 NBA titles, are off to a 5-0 start for the first time in franchise history. San Antonio also got 21 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds and 4 steals from Stephen Castle. Bam Adebayo scored a game-high 31 points and pulled down 10 rebounds, while Andrew Wiggins added 24 points for the Heat, whose 3-game winning streak ended.
Wembanyama over everybody. Larson driving, Ware moves it, Mitchell the extra pass, one more swinging around. Adebayo for 3, you mentioned it in the open, that game winner.
Adebayo in the corner, I'm not so sure about that one. That quick 3 ball.
Wembanyama right at Ware, banks it off glass.
And that's a tough shot.
Comes Mitchell, maestro for this team, has had a nice start to his season. Firing away, and he hits it.
I mean, right back to him, let him go to work on Mitchell. You're going to get an easier shot.
Bam Adebayo.
Well, see, I like that one better than the other one that he's trying to...
San Antonio, which ended the game with the best scoring defense in NBA, 104.5 points per game, won a battle against a Heat team that entered the day with the league's #1 scoring offense, 131.5.
Mitchell driving. Adebayo, big 3. Got it. He's not going to foul. And the Spurs are off to their greatest start ever. For the first time in franchise history.
Let's move to some rugby updates now. New Zealand head coach Scott Robertson has recalled Button Barrett and Caleb Clark for tomorrow's test against Ireland in Chicago.
Two-time World Rugby Player of the Year Barrett, 34, returns at fly half after missing the All Blacks' final Rugby Championship game against Australia with a shoulder injury. Barrett starts alongside his brothers Scott and Geordie. The latter helped Irish province Leinster win the United Rugby Championship last season. Winger Clark also missed the win over the Wallabies after making his only Rugby Championship appearance for the year against Australia the week before. Damien McKenzie and Leicester Fainga Ankunu dropped to the bench, while there is no place for Leinster-bound centre Reiko Lone in the matchday squad. Robertson said that Lone had trained really hard and understood that it was a hard team to get into. He added that it was a hard team to pick, so it was an everyday job and players had to turn up every day. Robertson also said that Ethan de Groot had recovered from a concussion and would start a loose head prop in his only other change from the 28-14 win over Australia in Perth on the 4th of October.
We are going in for another short commercial break. More sporting highlights coming on the other side. You are watching Sports Central on Other Derana News Channel. Welcome back to other than Sports Central. We are moving to the Paris Masters tennis court. Now, there isn't much Jannik Sinner has yet to achieve as a young tennis phenom, but yesterday he sewed up new first by advancing to the quarterfinals of the Paris Masters. The number 2 seed played for the second straight day following the first round bye and defeated Argentina's Francisco Cerundolo 7-5, 6-1. For context, Sinner has reached the quarterfinals at least once at every other ATP Masters 1000 tournament, including wins in Miami, Canada, Cincinnati and Shanghai. He is now the first Italian player to reach the quarters at all 9 current 1000 level events. In the first set against Cerundolo, Sinner went up by a break twice but lost the ensuing game each time. His opponent drew even at 4-4 and held serve until Sinner pulled out the final 3 points on the 12th game to escape 30-15 deficit. Because of Carlos Alcaraz's surprise loss in his opening match in Paris, Sinner can reclaim the world number 1 ranking from the Spaniard if he wins in Paris. Sinner set up a quarter-final showdown with the 5th seed Ben Shelton, who qualified for his first ATP finals when he finished off number 12 seed Andrei Rublev of Russia. In other action, number 3 seed Alexander Zverev of Germany breezed past 15-seeded Alejandro Davidovich Fokina of Spain 6-2, 6-4.
Sacha Zverev, 2 manches à 0, 6-2, 6-4, 6-2. Good luck, thank you.
And 11th seed Daniil Medvedev beat Italians Lorenzo Sonego 3-6, 7-6 and 6-4 to advance. Inter Miami released the official team photo for the 2025 season just as the MLS playoffs heat up.
On hand for the photo were Inter Miami captain Lionel Messi as well as team owners Jorge Mas, Jose Mas and soccer legend and co-owner David Beckham. Messi had signed a contract extension with Miami through the 2028 season, but some notable faces in the team photo will be gone come 2026. Both Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets plan to retire from professional soccer at the conclusion of the current season, which will either end with Miami being eliminated from the playoffs or the team hoisting the MLS Cup on December 6th. Luis Suarez's contract is up at the end of the year and it remains to be seen if the Uruguayan striker will re-sign with the club. Coach Javier Mascherano is also expected to return next season with his contract not up till 2027. Inter Miami currently leads Nashville SC 1-0 in a best-of-3 first-round playoff series. Game 2 is slated for tomorrow in Nashville.
The International Olympic Committee and Saudi Arabia have ended their 12-year esports partnership after only a year parting ways to develop separate projects. This was stated by the IOC yesterday.
2 years before the first Olympic esports games were to be held in Riyadh, the IOC said discussions with the Saudi Olympic and Paralympic Committee had ending the partnership 14 months after announcing a 12-year deal during the 2024 Paris Olympics. The IOC said in a statement that recently the two parties and the Esports World Cup Foundation had sat down again and reviewed the initiative. It added that they had mutually agreed to end their cooperation on the Olympic esports games while both parties remained committed to pursuing their own esports ambitions on separate paths. The The IOC had been looking into esports for several years, forming a dedicated commission to find opportunities to tap into younger generations involved with gaming. With its traditional audience-based aging, the governing body is trying to connect with younger potential Olympic fans. It had hoped that linking up with Saudi Arabia on esports would provide the necessary boost given the country's own sporting ambitions. Saudi Arabia had invested billions of dollars in sports events including soccer, Formula One, boxing and golf, with critics accusing the country of engaging in sports washing over its human rights record. The kingdom, which will host the 2034 Soccer World Cup and has ambitions to land the Summer Olympics, has denied accusations of human rights abuses. The IOC said for its part they will develop a new approach to the Olympics esports games and pursue a new partnership model. They added that this approach will be a chance to better fit the Olympic esports games to the long-term ambitions of the Olympic movement and to spread the opportunities presented by the Olympic esports games more widely, with the objective of having the inaugural games as soon as possible.
And with that, we wrap up our final bulletin for this week on Ada Derana Sports Central. Well, the weekend is going to be packed and we will be coming with all the updates that happen in the weekend next Monday. Well then, until next Monday, I'm Vinod Varnasure signing off. Have a great weekend and have a very good night.